over 75,000 people accepted the Trump administration buyout and decided that they wanted to get paid through September and then get up out of here after that. Now,
a federal judge.
Now what happens? I'll tell you exactly what happens. But before we do, let me go ahead and share the screen with you guys, and then I'm going to break this down for you and tell you how this plays out now.
To buy out tens of thousands of those government workers. Wednesday's ruling out of the U.S. District Court in Boston also allowing the White House to close the window to accept the offers, which it did at 7 Eastern time last night. News Nation's Kelly Meyer is here now. Kelly, it wasn't all good news for the administration's buyout plan.
That's right, Marky. News Nation has confirmed 75,000 federal workers, that's less than 4% of the federal workforce, accepted President Trump's buyout program, but that's short of the 5 to 10% goal that was laid out by the White House. Now, unions had warned employees against taking the deal, and Democrats warned the government could go back on its word. The program offered more than 2 million federal workers to be paid through September 30th if they resigned by February 6th, 1 week ago today. The offer was 8 months of pay and benefits for those who wanted to resign ahead of Trump's return to office mandate. This was to reduce the federal workforce and get people back into the office who have been working from home since the pandemic. The February 6th deadline was extended because of legal pushback, but once the court lifted that pause last night, the deadline hit. Now, a spokesperson for the Office of Personnel Management told me that they are pleased the court rejected the effort to strike down the program, saying, quote, "There is no longer any doubt the deferred resignation program was both legal and valuable option for federal employees. This program was carefully designed, thoroughly vetted, and provides generous benefits so federal workers can plan for their futures." And while White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is calling this the, quote, first of many legal wins for President Trump, another group of unions looking to stall the buyout effort filed a lawsuit in D.C. late yesterday. Right now, it's not clear how or if that impacts what happens next. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com.
So what is basically happening now is 75,000 people accepted the buyout offer. They wanted to target at least 5 to 10% of people before they started to hold them accountable. Let me say that again for the people in the back. 75,000 people accepted the buyout offer. They wanted more. They wanted 5 to 10% of the federal workforce to accept the buyout offer. But then at the same time, if you know Trump, if you know how we do business, if you know the Trump administration, then you also know, because a lot of you in the chat, some of you in the chat is saying, Anton, I wasn't accepting that trash buyout offer. Okay, I got you. I hear you. So the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to release the people who are not bound by the federal government because they didn't get enough buyouts in the first place. But they're going to release the contractors. This happens standard. When layoffs are about to happen, and a lot of people have never been through a layoff because either you're too young or you've been protected as by the federal government, but your time may or may not be coming. We'll see. The first thing that people do is they then first, or that a company does, because we run in the United States of America like a business with smaller government now. The first thing that you do is you let go of all of the contractors. The first step before the hammers start to really come down is the contractors got to be let go.
From the White House tonight that could affect hundreds of thousands of people here in the DMV and across the country.
Yet News 4 learned the Office of Personnel Management met with federal agencies today and told them to begin letting people go. Those agency leaders were told to dismiss probationary employees. That means workers who have typically only been with the federal government for 1 or 2 years.
Wait a minute. For probationary employees, if you go on for the federal government, it's 1 to 2 years. It's not 90 days. I don't think it matters anyway, because everybody or almost everybody that works for the federal government is an at-will employee. If you are not a union member, you are an at-will employee, meaning that you could be fired for any time, for any reason at all. All right. And I wonder, oh, wait, so I got a question. Y'all got 2 years probation? It's 2 years for y'all? Okay, so, all right. So let me ask y'all a question. If you are one of the employees that have between 1 to 2 years of, or less than 2 years of service, right? Meaning that it was a strong possibility that you was going to be the last one in, first one let go. Why wouldn't y'all, or did y'all even get the buyout offer? Did federal employees get the buyout offer or no? Somebody tell me, did federal employees get the buyout offer? That is correct, April L. Basically, people are going to be leaving money on the table. Quick Fix says we didn't. State is 1 year. You have to pass 2 years, so 2 years plus. No. K Soup said they got the buyout offer. They had the option for the buyout offer. Probationary employees can't do it. It was by discretion for us. Yes. So did y'all get it or did y'all not get it? Heard we got it, but department was exempt. Everyone got it. Art Lee said everyone got it. Courteous contemplations, everybody but the post office and probation. LD said we all got it. I don't think y'all know what y'all did. Y'all need to figure this out. Rick Euro says, yes, we got the fork in the road. We got it, but we wasn't allowed to take it. What? You're right, username Delta. So let's assume that they did. Let's assume that they did, or at least some of them did. Well, now you left all of the money on the table. That's really what it comes down to. Y'all basically leaving money on the table.
That's before all their civil service protections kick in. Hundreds of thousands of people could be affected by this. In fact, within the past hour, the Department of Veterans Affairs, the VA, announced it was letting go of 1,000 probationary employees. Now, this is all still developing tonight. News 4's Jackie Benson has more on what we need to know and reaction.
A source familiar with the meetings tells News 4's I-Team that at least 216,000 probationary employees could be impacted, and no agency is said to be exempt. That number is approximately 9.4% of the entire federal workforce. An OPM spokesperson told News 4 in a statement, "The probationary period is a continuation of the job application process, not an entitlement for permanent employment." The statement went on to say, agencies are taking independent action in light of the recent hiring freeze and in support of the president's broader efforts to restructure and streamline the federal government. OPM says less than 5% of the federal workforce took the deferred resignation offered by the Trump administration, which had set a higher expectation, hoping between 5 and 10% would accept it. The head of the American Federation of Government Employees Union responded tonight with a statement that says, "These firings are not about poor performance. There is no evidence that these employees were anything but dedicated public servants." He added, "They are about power. They are about gutting the federal government, silencing workers, and forcing agencies into submission to a radical agenda that prioritizes cronyism over competence."
The situation was not normal even before the termination notices went out.
Johanna Hickman lost her job as senior litigation counsel, a position in which she served since 2023 when the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was shuttered Tuesday.
And then around 9 o'clock on Tuesday night, all of the probationary employees, as far as we know, which is folks in their first year or two, depending on what type of job they have, all of those probationary employees lost access to their computer systems. And then around 9 p.m., the termination notices started going out by email.
The union.
All right, so this is basically what's going to happen. All right, they're going to let go of a lot of the contractors first. The contractors that they don't need, those are going to be low hanging fruit because it's going to be easy to be able to let them go. They don't owe them anything. They don't have any obligation to continue the contract. And then more importantly, they may not renew some of the contracts and all of that stuff. Then start coming to layoffs. So they're going to go through every department. They're going to go through the Department of Defense. They're going to go through the education department. They're going to go through every single, the environmental agencies. They're going to go through the departments. And the only people I believe that are safe are people that are law enforcement. Law enforcement employees will probably see an uptick in recruitment. But as far as regular everyday people, I believe that a lot of people are going to regret not taking the money. Not everybody, but I believe it's a lot of people that's going to regret not having taken the money and getting that 8 months pay, because I don't think that it's ever going to open back up. If you one of the people that get laid off because they go through your department and they say, you know what, we don't need you, then what's going to happen is you are going to be laid off and terminated, and you will not get the buyout. You're going to be wanting to go back and get the buyout, and it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. So I hope that y'all okay. I hope that y'all safe. I hope that y'all tune in to After Hours tonight. It's going to be a hootin' good time, and we going to rock out, all right?